got ourselves a pretty nice evening on the way, especially if you are East River. Out west, we've had a few lingering showers, but they also will get on out of here. Partly cloudy skies overall, temperatures mainly in the 30s, which is a lot closer to where we should be for this time of year, and that's going to be the trend headed into your day tomorrow. A lot closer to average for this time of year. Dare we say a little bit above average in a couple of areas, 60s, near 70 in a couple of locations. But as we head later into the week, we bring in better chances for rain. We'll talk about that coming up. But First at 4 starts right now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group, KELOLAND News First at 4.
South Dakota is hoping to grow the number of apprentices in the state. We're going to look at the new effort to get workers the experience they need.
Plus, flooding along the Mississippi is now causing problems in Iowa. We look at the efforts to save homes and businesses. And later, an event tonight in Sioux Falls is helping you prepare for severe storms this spring and summer. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Kelly Volk. South Dakota business owners are getting some help from the state when it comes to training potential employees through apprenticeship programs. Governor Kristi Noem announced $8 million in funding will be handed out in the form of grants to businesses that set up and maintain apprenticeship programs.
New programs can get $15,000, and established apprenticeships can receive up to $10,000. Right now, there are about 1,000 apprentices being trained in South Dakota. The governor says that number should be higher because businesses need workers.
We've never made this kind of an investment into these programs before, and most of the time when you go into a business and they're struggling for workforce and we ask them, why don't you do an apprenticeship program? They're said, well, financially it just doesn't work for us.
The grants are available until June 2nd. The Labor Department says they are ready to help businesses set up apprenticeships programs right now.
3M announced more layoffs today as part of yet another restructuring plan. The manufacturing company said that it would lay off 6,000 employees around the world. Those cuts are in addition to the 2,500 manufacturing jobs 3M eliminated in January. 3M has facilities in Brookings and Aberdeen. Demand for manufactured goods has fallen in recent months. Consumers have been spending less on items and more on experiences. Businesses are gearing up for an anticipated recession.
A growing community just south of Sioux Falls could be on track to get a hotel. The Harrisburg Economic Development Corporation says a feasibility study shows the city can support a hotel with about 60 to 70 rooms.
It gives us the opportunity to talk the next steps of hotel development in Harrisburg and bring another amenity to town that currently there's a gap in.
Find out what a hotel would mean for a local business owner coming up on KELOLAND News at 5.
All right, let's get a check of our weather. A beautiful day out there today.
There was a little wind. That was a little chilly.
Early on. Yeah. It's pretty nice right now.
Well, I'll take it. I'm not complaining, Adam.
Yeah, exactly. The wind was actually really nice. It made it feel a little bit more refreshing outside, especially where it stayed meekly dry. Where it didn't, well, it was not the greatest morning or early afternoon for that matter to get outside. Here's live top weather radar over the last about 8 or so hours, and we did have a ribbon of moisture from Pierre looping up to Eagle Butte, Faith, and eventually toward Belle Fourche. Starting off as a little bit of mixing in northern Meade County, but then becoming all rain and gradually tapering off in northwestern South Dakota. But now we just have a ribbon of rainfall extending from Mitchell to an area just in between Eagle Butte and Mobridge. But some of the heavier rain in northern Meade County, putting out around an inch of rainfall over the last 12 or so hours. Basically nothing to the east beyond some very light showers toward Yankton, Charles, Mix County, Gregory counties as well. Pierre a little over 1/10 of an inch, Faith a little over 1/2 an inch of rainfall. And we'll see those showers continue to try and build a little bit further to the north and east. Again, from Mitchell to about Mobridge. Don't be surprised if you run into this as you head toward the end of your day and into the first part of your evening. But beyond that, it's been a pretty nice day outside. Speaking of Pierre, 46 degrees at the Capitol with an east wind at 14 miles per hour. Cloud cover still sticking around, but we have seen some bits of sunshine out there, including at Falls Park. Take a look, 58 degrees. It's been a beautiful day here in Sioux Falls. An east wind at 13 miles per hour. Again, that wind felt actually pretty nice today. 50 Brookings and Worthington Aberdeen sitting at 52, but 37 in Faith. That rain, not to mention the cloud cover, really causing temperatures to take a big step backward. 47 in Buffalo, 57 in Pine Ridge right now. Satellite and radar again showing just a lot of cloud cover and a little bit of rain, the latter of which dissipates for now. Highs tomorrow, though, this isn't bad. 60s and mid to upper 60s at that. Up to the northeast, however, yes, we're in the 60s, but we also have the chance for rain to deal with as we head toward the afternoon. Out west, we'll also be in the 60s to near 70 for Wednesday. Many locations do it all over again on Thursday in terms of warmer temperatures, but as we head toward the end of the week, we bring in better opportunities for rain, and not just for a few areas either. More on that and the rest of your extended outlook are coming up as we head through the hour.
All right, thanks a lot, Adam. Communities in northeast Iowa along the Mississippi River are bracing for some major flooding this week.
And preparations are underway for a crest that could possibly be the second highest ever in Marquette. Roger Riley with our sister station in Des Moines has the story.
Well, this is one of those Iowa stories we get from time to time. Last year they were concerned here because it was so dry and the river was so low. But this year, things have changed. When did you find out that this town was going to flood? Was it like 2 weeks ago, or when did you find that out?
Oh, we've been concerned ever since spring. And, you know, they keep telling you it's going to be this high, then this high, and then all of a sudden it's, well, we better get things lined up and going.
Now this bed and breakfast is surrounded by water. Also, the riverfront area here is swamped by rising water. The town has begun putting up HESCO barriers and will add more this week. They've raised up a road to get into what's called the bench, the lowest area in town where a few residents need to be ready to evacuate.
And then we have an emergency exit route on the bench where people will be able to get in and out that way.
The rising water may mean Highway 76 will be closed down with a HESCO barrier.
God love the fire department. They've sandbagged and sandbagged Marquette, McGregor. They just, as we use them up, they come back up and refill all the skids that we have out. One phone call to the MFL Marmac school and 120 kids showed up. It's amazing to see 3 bus loads empty all at once, and it's like a small army.
The Marquette City Clerk, Bonnie, told me that she wanted to put in a request for no more rain here in this area. They don't need this water to get any higher than it's already forecast to be. From Marquette, Roger Riley, WHO 13 News.
And due to flooding on the Mississippi River in eastern Iowa, Governor Kim Reynolds signed a disaster proclamation for 10 counties.
Well, in Minnesota, several communities are still under a flood warning, but the National Weather Service says that conditions this week will help to lower the water levels. Some rivers have crested while others continue to rise slowly. Meteorologists say for the Mississippi and Minnesota rivers, it could take weeks for the flooding to recede since there is still so much water upstream. Authorities also say that even if a road no longer has water over it, people should still not drive on it until the road closure signs are removed.
Minnesota is another step closer to legalizing recreational marijuana. The Minnesota House passed the bill this afternoon. It now goes to the Senate on Friday. Governor Tim Walz has said he'll sign it as soon as it gets to his desk. South Dakotans approved legalizing recreational marijuana during the 2020 election, but the South Dakota Supreme Court found it unconstitutional after a challenge by Governor Kristi Noem. There is another effort underway to put recreational marijuana on the ballot again next year.
Well, coming up.